No, love, yeah, no, no, love, yeah, no, no, love, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, no, no.
Greg, if you were to give yourself a let's start the show healthy. Let's all give ourselves self-evaluations for things we know we're not good at. Greg, if you were to give yourself a self-evaluation, 1 being my deceased grandfather, the 10 being Geek Squad on technology, where do you think you lie?
I am below average at best.
Okay, so that's not a number. You see what I mean?
That's why I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm below average, so I would say probably a 4.
Oh.
4, maybe 3.5.
Okay. What goes into that for you? What like can you do to not be a 2? You know what I mean?
I don't know, honestly. At this point, it's just a feeling, you know. It's like it's just one of those things that you just know it, you feel it in your bones and stuff. That is what I truly am. That is me.
Okay. So here's how I think we should play this game. I think that you should give a self-evaluation for something someone else picks, and then the other 2. So Josh, get in here. We get to evaluate you as well, and we'll just, I mean, Josh's is going to be about spelling. Right?
I don't want to do this game. I don't want to. Can I have Greg's question?
Greg, I would give you a 2.5.
Okay.
Because you are a cactus when it comes to blogging, which means that there's water in there, just really hard to get it out. Josh, what would you give Greg on a technology scale? Oh, is that bone good?
That was not
right in my ear.
For the podcast listeners. That was not him asking that to us.
No, that was Bean. Sorry, that was my dog.
Yeah,
Greg, you gave him a 2.5. He gave himself a
2.5. He gave himself a 3.5.
3.5.
He said he was below average first.
I'd split the difference. I'd go 3.
Okay.
Like, he manages to get on Zoom every week.
That's fair.
Incorrectly
sometimes.
That maybe sounded like more of an insult than it meant to be, Greg, but like
kinda was.
As somebody who worked in a corporation where I had to explain what Zoom was, like, you're doing great, sweetie.
Oh God.
So, Greg, now's your chance. We will pivot. Josh, on a scale of 1 being a potato and 10 being like a 12-year-old child in the spelling bee spelling a word with 3 J's in it, where do you put yourself on spelling?
Well,
because I know the true answer.
I've lost to a foreign exchange student at a spelling bee. And
shout out foreign countries.
Can I go like 0.1?
I would say no, because you in the same vein as Greg managing to just get on Zoom, you can text some words.
Some words I do get.
Well, autocorrect probably helps a lot in that case, though. So that might be a negative in that sense.
Have I ever told this story on air that in first grade, you know, like you have to write like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I wrote, I want to be a hockey player, and I misspelled hockey.
Yeah, that tracks.
And my first grade teacher said that I better learn how to spell what I want to be.
Hockey players can't spell hockey.
I know. That's like, really where my hockey career started.
I was gonna say, why do hockey players need to spell? Like, it's not like they need to like spell out something on the ice or whatever. Like, come on, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to spell your name right on a contract or anything. Greg, what would you give Josh in terms of spelling? Well, it gets fun after this, Josh, because you guys get to decide my self-evaluation category, and I'll give you a minute to brainstorm because yours were fairly easy.
Well, here's the thing. He does type up the graphics a lot, and for the most part, he does an adequate job. So,
did you watch the clip I posted today?
Love it.
I did. Yes, I did. It was technically one word that was misspelled. The others were fine. So there's that. But I would say
adequate is like putting a cup of water inside like cardboard and being like, the water's still technically in there. It's adequate. That's the level of spelling I see.
Adequate is a synonym for average, basically. So I would say, to be fair, he's probably on a scale of 1 to 10 of 4.
Wow. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Greg. Thank you.
And wrong. I love lying to my friends. You get it too.
Okay.
All right,
Earmuffs.
what do I got? What's up?
Earmuffs.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we either go being nice to people.
I don't know. I feel like that's too.
That's too mean.
That's too mean.
Okay. I mean, he's gonna hear this anyway.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know either. This one's hard because I'm trying to figure out what he does really bad.
Okay, I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Earmuffs back on, please, sir.
10.
Okay. Rate yourself as a Division I goalkeeper on a scale of 1 to 10, keeping
10.
in mind that you've thrown the ball in your own net.
Wow.
Doesn't matter. 10. I just got back-to-back defensive player of the weeks. I got 3 rings out there to speak the 10.
He does have rings. That's fair.
Yeah.
I have
he does
rings.
have rings.
Like, what are we talking about?
You didn't. Yeah. You have like, hey, video guy, come here.
Yeah.
Take one of them out of the bottom of the box, buddy.
They have my name on them.
Yeah. Well, luckily for you, there was that LSAS hockey player for Penn State.
Yeah, that's right.
And thankfully they spelled it correctly, which is good.
His
All
first
right, go
grade
ahead.
teacher thought he was going to accomplish something.
Give me my evaluation.
I mean, that's a pretty bad own goal, man. What do you?
Yeah,
Can we look up your
100%.
stats?
Probably.
And didn't you get benched your senior year for a freshman?
Oh, that's not even remotely true.
Thought you got benched for a freshman at one point.
I've never been benched for a freshman in my entire career.
I thought that was
There was a
part of
guy
the
that I
story.
got to school at the same time with that I was higher than him on the depth chart the first year, but we had a starter. Second year, coach liked him more because he was fit, and then he got hurt in the very first game halfway through, so I came in and never lost my spot again. Came in senior year, coach did the same thing where he put the other guy in starting, and he just never got hurt, and he was okay. He was like a 6'4" Canadian that had a 6-pack.
That checks out. That checks out. Yeah,
That's what I
checks
lost
out.
my roster spot.
He's a
Too
vegan.
big to be. He was too big to be a hockey goalie, so he had to transition to soccer.
Yeah, he had Appalachia or whatever. The
What?
Josh
Appalachia?
Dobbs thing.
Oh, couldn't grow
Alopecia.
hair.
Yeah.
Alopecia. Yeah,
Yeah. So he's aerodynamic as fuck.
Yeah, that's
that makes
cheating.
so much sense.
He should have been a swimmer.
Yeah. He didn't have any hair on his balls, I'll tell you that
Ooh.
much.
I'm curious how. I don't even want to know how you know that to confirm, but okay.
Because he couldn't grow hair, Greg.
This was a lame game. You're too good at things. Let's move on.
Agreed. All right, 3, 2.
Oh, I wouldn't
One.
get it out yet.
Well, that's the next logical thing to
Look
move on.
at this. Last week he's premature on it, and this week he's late.
I'm
You gotta
getting a
find the
prescription
medium
He's really
ground.
for
bad
it,
at this,
Greg.
Greg. He's
I'm
really
trying
bad
to
at this.
figure out my prescription. Thanks, Hims.
3, 2, 1. Action. Also, shout out Adam Sorma, who I will say officially solved our complaint on Greg, despite Adam still agreeing with me, but saying intent matters.
Adam is the man. I am validated. I am vindicated. There is jubilation in my bones everywhere that I can think of. When the king of Pittsburgh beer says that it is a proved in this case, you have to take it for fact, damn it.
I'm pretty sure he used all those words just because we talked about your spelling, Josh, because he's never used any of those 3-syllable words before.
I'm elated. What can I say?
That was a
I'm
2.
over.
I have a
I'm
good
over-
vocabulary. I just can't spell any of it.
What's your most impressive word that you use?
That I use?
Yeah.
Fortuitous.
Greg, have you ever heard Josh say fortuitous?
I've never heard him say it. The only time I've ever heard the word fortuitous before is like in one of the Harry Potter movies where he says fortuitous major to get into the Gryffindor common area. That's it. Seriously, I'm not kidding. That's the only time I've ever heard that word.
But the
used.
fact that that's your Harry Potter pool is
Yeah.
a
What?
wild move. Like, no, it's impressive. It's impressive.
I just remember it. I remember it specifically because they're trying to get the singing woman to let them in, and she just keeps trying to break the glass on the painting.
Oh, fair. Josh, I
Yeah.
feel like when you said fortuitous, I've heard you say it before. I was just curious if Greg did.
I was trying to. I'm trying to figure out when I've heard him say it before. Yeah, but I bet you could spell it.
No.
I don't know the words.
No way.
There. So, Greg, are you still drinking non-alcoholic beer?
I still am. Still got a couple more Heinekens left, and I should be good to go. This is the stretch during this time that I'm not looking forward to. There's always like during Lent when I'm not drinking, there's like that certain part of it that I don't look forward to because it's always the challenging one. Like last year when I was at the wedding that I wasn't able to drink for. Fuck Big Dave for that one, by the way. But this stretch coming up is the one that I get like that I'm going to be antsy about because I got 2 concerts and a friend's birthday party I'm going to. So I'm like, fuck. So that's the only part I struggle with.
That friend's birthday party, you're like prepared for though. It happens once a year around this time, same time every year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. At least you're like aware. Yeah, that's good. March Madness
it changes. Sometimes it's in April. Sometimes it's in June. You just never know. Sometimes it's in February. It's hard to say.
I think the best thing about Josh being back, Greg, is that there were a lot of times where I would stay straight-faced and stoic during bits. And I was like, yeah, maybe they hit, maybe they don't. I don't know. Because you don't react. Because sometimes I don't know if you think I'm in a bit or not. But the fact that Josh laughs when I'm doing the stoic bit with you, it makes me feel like we did something right, Greg.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Yeah. I have to be as calm and around it as possible because if I don't, I'm going to break out uncontrollably and we'll never have a show done. But thankfully, since we now have a third person and the producer that can handle all the background noise and provides the laugh track for the listener and also the viewer in this case, I feel a little bit better about it now that someone can make you feel better when you try to be funny.
That was the meanest thing Greg has ever said.
Greg said he didn't laugh before because the show wouldn't go on, so he's glad you're here because now he can not laugh.
Not laugh at your not funny jokes.
It just didn't make sense, Greg, because all you said was you wanted us to record a show, so I was funny before, and now you're happy someone's here to laugh.
No.
But then he turned it into a dig. It was a weird...
I'm simply saying that I'm trying to keep it together.
It doesn't sound that simple. This is pretty.
Have you ever made Greg laugh? I don't think I've ever made Greg laugh.
Oh, yeah. He's made me laugh.
Sid,
he's made me laugh.
I've made Greg laugh a lot.
If you listen on the playback and stuff, like I've laughed on a lot of our podcasts.
I sometimes send him pictures of my jump just at random times of the day, and he'll like put LOL. So I don't know if it's really laughing out loud. Weird.
Well, unfortunately, it's not 3 LOLs because that's something that we know Josh does all the time as well. So that's how you know it might not be as funny.
That's how I read Josh's text.
Josh is the Patrick Star of Thoughts from the Bench.
He is.
What's the one thing that Patrick's actually like an idiot facade at? Like that he's like so dumb he's great at it.
Boat. Driving the boat.
Oh yeah.
So because he taught him, yeah.
That's like me of tech. That's it.
Yeah, well, the reason it's the U as tech is because Patrick threw his boat away when it was on E because it was end. So that is
Makes sense.
Well, also Patrick's job was technically him going to his rock and watching TV, which was staring in front of a monitor, and Josh does that for his job, which is staring in front of a monitor as well. So
if Greg was a character, he'd be Double D from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh.
Yeah,
no.
I've identified.
But you want to be a part of the schemes because jawbreakers are cool.
You know what's weird? When I first watched that show, I thought Double D was a girl.
Yeah.
It just.
Why was he not?
I don't know. Like there was just something I didn't think he was a guy. First, I think it was his voice or something. That just made me. The hat, yeah. I didn't think it was a hat. I legit thought it was his hair.
All right, let's get into our first topic of the evening here on the Two Beers Deep podcast.
Are we still on the air?
From what I see, mine keeps going away from the live, and
okay,
yeah, we're live. We're here.
All right, cool. We're Gucci. Sorry,
Josh. What's our first topic tonight?
Well, if we were giving the Ravens a rating out of 1 of 10 of making their franchise quarterback happy, we would have to give them a what, gentlemen?
Well, that transition was a 10.
Thank you.
I'll give you that.
I really
Wikipedia says Patrick Starr most known traits are his laziness and low intelligence, said Sid. So
fantastic. Thanks, Sid.
Well, first of all, anyone can edit that Wikipedia, so let's not hear.
Hey, Greg,
anyone
can edit Wikipedia. Give him a 3.5.
Yeah, no. But he can't do it, is my point. So knock him down. Anybody can. Greg is completely. Greg, you could not edit a Wikipedia page.
Why would I even want to? Like, that's just effort.
Point per
that's just work.
It's so much fun.
Baltimore Ravens. It's an interesting situation for me, guys, because the league now, I think that this was taken out of kind of context, but a lot of teams came out and said that they were not interested in Lamar after they got tagged. For me, it came more across as the teams were asked by reporters if they were more interested in Lamar because of the situation, and they said no. But it basically looks like nobody in the league wants Lamar Jackson, which is weird.
Yeah, the story that you kept seeing on the talking head shows around basically every single sports network was the idea of collusion being pushed around for the NFL. Are we really going to believe that a league of owners and stuff that argue about how much Roger Goodell is going to be paid is going to collude to not pay a quarterback? Like, I don't believe that for a second at all. Like, that's also too much effort that is going to be involved for guys to talk to one another to say, make sure you don't pay this guy. Like, come on. Like, let's be real. That's not going to happen.
Here's what I'd say. I guess if there was a proven situation of a quarterback who was somewhat run heavy, whose team did okay without him, and all the teams basically agreed to blackball him and keep him out. If there was like a precedent of that situation, then I could disagree with you, Greg. But we've never seen all of the league's owners come together and decide as a group they didn't want to sign one player. And then the fans basically jump on that player because he wasn't quite performing that well. And they had some other guys, a younger quarterback who kind of came in and was looking okay in the same system. And everyone says, well, we can just win with this guy. And there were rumors of a trade, but then they kind of got squashed. And so then he was stuck at his team. And we've never seen that before. So.
No, definitely have not seen that before. I can't concur with you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be impressive for the owners to do something like that because I trust them fully.
I mean, there are some sketchy ones. I mean, have you seen that dude in Cleveland? Guy gave $230 million to a quarterback. Ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to move this conversation along.
I wouldn't. I would just sit in limbo and wait till, because Greg, the first thing you said, you were serious.
I cannot.
That's the point, Josh. You see how he transitioned into the parody after I said what I said. He started fully intentional.
Yeah,
I did. Because I cannot see all owners coming together and choosing to not pay a guy. That's different than, I can't see it.
The difference is to what Josh and I were saying, it's been done before. And I guarantee it's been done more times than Colin Kaepernick. The other side of it is Colin Kaepernick. Well, beard a woman. Lamar hasn't done anything to deserve this blackballing, but once you do it one time, Greg, you're capable of doing it every time. On the flip of it, Lamar's situation comes back to us with like a bunch of question marks. He doesn't have an agent.
No.
Deshaun comes out with 206 6-year guaranteed. Lamar's asking for that. Kyler Murray drafted first overall with no wins really under his belt. There's no reason to not, but at the same time, on the flip of it, Baltimore changed their entire offense. They haven't had wide receiver production. They haven't had any success in the postseason. They genuinely have been just kind of like getting Lamar's stat padding. And I don't think a team that watches Arizona pay their quarterback and a team that watches Jared Goff get paid and a team that watches all these teams get crippled is going to jump up and be like, no, I want to set the market with that guy after he comes back from an injured season. I get it. He's 26. I get it. He's probably the best athlete at the quarterback position. I get it. He's in a category of 96 QBR with over 1,000 yards with Dan Marino, Patrick Mahomes, like a really elite list of passers. I think there's a very few number of teams who shouldn't be out on him. But at the same time, if I'm Atlanta and I offer Lamar a contract, the Ravens can come back and just match it. So I spent hours getting the contract together. I spent all this negotiation time with Lamar. I did all the work for the Baltimore Ravens organization to sign Lamar to the deal they should sign him to.
Yeah, after the Lamar thing kind of came out, I remember I texted you both and I said the Ravens are out of their mind. But then I kind of like was thinking about it a little more, and I read up a better understanding of the transition tag and how it kind of non-exclusive franchise tag. Non-exclusive franchise tag for like how it works and stuff. And I understood the whole premise of like the idea of like, yeah, like a team can sign them to the offer sheet, and then the Ravens have the right to match that. And I think the Ravens. I'm starting to understand a little more why the Ravens did what they did, specifically for the fact that like they can't come to an agreement, so let the market decide what he's worth.
Yeah.
And then the other part that I didn't even think about with this case either, he can't negotiate with anyone right now. Like the legal tampering window the tampering window doesn't open until Monday, and then teams can start signing guys on Wednesday. So
yeah,
there's like this whole time that we don't even know for a fact like who's actually going to make an offer to Lamar Jackson. But I think the idea too of like a team that has to essentially put an entire contract offer together and then may not actually have it happen. I get it. And then putting the paperwork together is no easy task at all. But on the one side, it's kind of like, you get a franchise quarterback and you lose 2 first-round picks and stuff. So you got to look at teams that are going to be willing to be able to eat that. But on the other hand, if I don't get the guy, at least someone else is going to pay this guy X amount of money, and then I can use that money for other advantages. You know what it is, actually? Deshaun Watson essentially screwed the quarterback market.
Yeah, Bueno wrote, love that the Browns effed the market, really fucked. I don't know why I said effed and then fucked. Really fucked the Ravens was up. I mean, this is Christian Kirk at wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars knew their division had to pay money to A.J. Brown and all these guys. They said, you know what, CK, you were really good in college. We're going to reset the market with you because we have the capital to do so. Here's the downside, though. Deshaun spent a year and a half, 2 years without playing football.
Yeah.
He never – I would always, in a game, take – Lamar over Deshaun, everything off the field aside, and everything off the field included, he's a sexual predator who should probably be dropped in the middle of the ocean. Like all of that stuff. And the Cleveland Browns are still saying no, we got our guy. It's interesting.
Well, the other thing with that too is people, if you remember from the bidding process and stuff, Deshaun was gonna be a Falcon. There was, I mean,
the Browns said guaranteed.
Yeah, no, it was, I believe the Falcons were either offering him 160, 180 mil or something like that. And then the Browns decided to do that. That's how desperate that team was to say, we need a quarterback, and then to offer all that. So now the Browns essentially have screwed everyone up, because now every single quarterback in their right mind is going to do this. And I'm curious to see who is going to be the next one to even get something like that. Because you got Jalen Hurts, you got Joe Burrow, you got Justin Herbert that are all due for those contracts upcoming and stuff. And if Lamar, who actually has an MVP, isn't going to get it, then who's going to get it?
Josh?
Can I ask who was all in on Lamar? I know the Commanders. Who else?
Are you asking for the teams that said? Are you asking for the teams that said they're not gonna?
No, but like we were projecting who was in on Lamar. Who were the
Commanders, Falcons, Saints, Panthers? The Jets were never in on them. To my knowledge, that's kind of it. I mean, Miami was a fun one to toss around.
So here's something that I've been pondering since the news came out.
Yeah.
Are any of the other teams rich enough to make a serious counteroffer that the Ravens couldn't match? So the Commanders
there's a couple.
Yes.
Well, but like, okay, so the Commanders are number 5, according to wealthygorilla.com, as far as the most wealthy franchises.
Over the Cap is a good website too, Josh.
Yeah,
Over the Cap.
Wealthygorillas.com.
I like Wealthy Gorillas.
Yeah, if you go to, so Josh, just Google NFL Cap Space. It's the second link called Over the Cap, and it shows you 2023, 24, 25, 26. It's really cool.
No, yeah. That's not what I'm talking about, though.
You're not talking about cap space?
I'm not talking about cap space. I'm talking about a franchise being able to pay somebody that amount of money. Do you understand what I mean? Like, there's a difference.
Kind of, yeah, but it's still fairly cap hitting because all of that money, I mean, you front loaded, it goes through. basically what I'm saying, Josh, too, is Dre thought he was a genius because he's like, well, I'm giving Lamar all his guarantee, but I'm doing it over 10 years. And I said, why would Lamar sign that deal?
Right.
Like, why would Lamar sign a deal for $270 million guaranteed across 10 years? Like that's 2.7. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why
the cap stuff.
But that's also where I think that actual physical money comes into play.
Okay, you keep going with your thought.
So
and then
if we're looking at those three teams, okay, so Saints, Panthers, and Commanders, right? Those were our three teams.
Yeah.
At
Okay.
Falcons. At Falcons.
And Falcons.
What up, Blood Bomb?
Okay. So Falcons are number 20. They're valued at $3.2 billion. Okay.
Mhm.
The Commanders were the highest ranking. They were at 4 or 5 with $4.3 billion, but they're probably being sold. So that would take them out of it, right? The Panthers and who else? Whoever the other fucking team was. Saints.
Well,
are
not this. Actually, not this. I was gonna say not the Saints because they just got Derek Carr.
They-
So
Well, yeah,
that's-
but they were
but
in
like,
the original.
They were in the
Yeah.
original bidding,
Convo.
but they're not in the top 20.
okay.
So
That's-
I'm just,
that's
you know
fair.
what I mean? Like, and I think this is like, goes back to like
Yeah.
why the Yankees or the New York market teams can afford to go buy a big free agent because
Well-
they have the cash on hand kind of thing.
But there's also no cap in baseball. There is
No,
a cap in the NFL.
But there are caps internally put on teams at times. There are, you know what I mean? Like,
Well,
as far as spending and money and like that kind of thing.
I
But
mean,
it's the 4 year. So the cap in the NFL is a 95% spent across the 4 years of the CBA agreement. So you need to spend a certain amount of money on a minimum, but you can only spend a certain amount max in terms of
Yeah, I get
specific areas.
I get that, but that's still the cash on hand to pay that person. Some teams like. Do you think the Carolina Panthers have the cash to go toe to toe with the Ravens?
I very easily believe they would have to move pieces, of course, but I think any NFL team could make Lamar work if they really wanted to, outside of the teams that have basically destroyed themselves with crippling contracts.
well, also not even that though, but like especially Josh, with the way that the cap works too, that the way that the money that they get to spend on the cap is based on the revenue the NFL generates. So
The
that's
whole
kind
NFL.
of the whole NFL, and then it's divided up by 32.
So
and then,
because of the revenue sharing, every team in theory has the cash to pay Lamar.
yes,
Okay.
yes, everyone works.
But it's
yeah,
a really
so-
good thought, though, Josh, because that conversation is why a bunch of teams don't stress over it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because they're like, look at all that has to go into it to do that thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So literally like the way it is set up is the NFL generates all their revenue, and then football, I believe it's like football related revenue or something like that.
Okay.
It's the CBA dictates like how it's divided between the owners and the players. And then whatever the players cut is, it's divided by 32, and that's how you get the salary cap for each team every single year.
Bueno said, and this is this is a
Second
report from
richest.
April 7th, 2022. He said second, the richest owner is David Tepper with the Panthers, $16.7 billion. He's the 103rd richest person in the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All brand new to me, but they could if they wanted to.
Okay.
Just
Cool.
a lot of other stuff. I think it's a really
Yeah.
good point, though, Josh.
That I mean, because like in other sports, like and that all comes back to being a hockey, guy first. Like the Arizona Coyotes are never going to get Austin Matthews because they don't have the fucking cash to give him
And
up front.
yeah,
Like-
I mean that's like in the NBA. There's a luxury tax for everything that goes over the cap, but in the NFL, there is a cap in essence. So it's the Lakers can have every player, give max deals to every player. It's just once you break the cap, you're literally just paying money to have those players. In the NFL, every team could probably own every player. It just then comes down to the other contracts. And if we look at Patrick Mahomes' deal, it was extremely front loaded. So the first 3 years, he made almost all of his money. And then by the fourth year, what they're going to do is transition all that into some signing bonus and do it that way. And so like, there's ways that a team that wants Lamar could get it. I think the scarier thing here is that nobody's willing to try. That's
Sure.
where the big question mark
So I
comes
did
in.
have a theory about that too, and this is also hockey based, so bear with me.
Go ahead.
The reason that nobody uses offer sheets in the NHL is because they don't want to get offer sheeted back.
That's fair. There have been, especially with restricted free agents. I know what you're talking about in this sense, because there are times where guys, when they hit restricted free agency, they can go out, they can look for an offer sheet, and teams can sign them to the offer sheet, and I believe the other teams have 3 days. Now, the difference, though, with hockey offer sheets, I believe, can range from, like, depending on the tender, can be like 1 to 4 first-round draft picks.
It's just one. It's one straight up.
Are you sure? Because I do
positive.
recall. Because I swear, like, when Shea Weber had his free agency and stuff, there was talk about the Predators getting like 4 first-round picks in exchange for him in that case.
I will check it out, but it's sound logic in that case, though, Josh, because of the fact I do agree some teams are afraid to give up the capital, and this goes back to last week's talk about how draft picks are like used cars. Once you use them, they're done. They're commodities. They're used as like bargaining chips, but in actuality, what are they? You know, it can be. Now, in terms of the NFL, having that rookie contract is obviously big if you're going for a specific position or something that you believe is a world-class talent that goes with that. But you're also weighing it against the fact that, like, in a league where there are not 32 elite quarterbacks, there's probably 10, right? Maybe.
Off the top of my head, like, when one comes on the market, it's almost too hard to pass up.
I understand.
It really is.
Sometimes.
There's so many.
It's pretty easy this time, it looks like.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, here's the thought process. I mean, like, how much of this is also based on the fact, too, that teams just strictly don't want to have to redo their entire offense for Lamar? Or could it also be the fact that teams don't believe that they can plug Lamar into their current offense and he would succeed?
I don't hate that, but I'm going to throw out some names here.
Also, Greg, you were right. It does vary.
Lamar Jackson or Sam Howell?
Lamar Jackson.
This game again? Yeah, I know. Right? Remember?
But we're 2 beers deep, man. We like to keep things from previous episodes going, man.
Yeah, we're the new South Park.
Sam Darnold or Lamar Jackson?
Not even, dude. Sam Darnold's technically a free agent.
Oh yeah, that's true. He is. I forgot about that.
Is it PJ Walker? Is he no, it's Matt. It's Matt Carell. Matt Carell.
Oh, your boy,
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Here's the point, Greg. The Panthers, if you really look at their roster, have it up. They have 4 blue chip players in my mind.
On offense or defense or all around?
On their team.
Okay, I would guess
3 on defense, in my opinion.
Brian Burns.
Yep.
Jeremy Chin. JC
Debated
Horn.
For that one. Yeah, I go Horn. Chin's great. The other one was Derek Brown at defensive tackle.
Okay.
On their offense, you can make an argument for Icky after year 1, but it's in my opinion, DJ Moore. They are a team that if I was Aaron Rodgers, this is the team I'd go to. If I was this team, I would need a quarterback. They are a very good team in a very shitty division that just lost Tom Brady, that, just added Derek Carr, but dude, it makes no sense why they wouldn't. So then flip and go to the Commanders in a division with Dak Prescott, ? Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl team, which is fine. And then you go to the Giants, who just paid a bag for a librarian. I don't honestly understand why neither of those 2 teams are doing it. And there has to be something else, because they are both tailor-made right now to switch their offense and not miss a beat due to their defense having talent and the offensive weapons being serviceable. Same thing in my mind goes for Atlanta, who has maybe 2 blue chip players on that entire
Calvin
roster.
Ridley's back, so you know.
Well, he's in Jacksonville.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Greg can talk. Greg can talk. I said it twice. If I say his name one more time, he can talk.
What? Okay.
Greg and I. Damn it!
Yes, thank you.
See, I made Greg laugh. Yeah, what were you saying, Josh?
Carolina too fucking knows the power of I don't even know, Superman, because duh. Not to be the reference, but they understand what it means to have Superman as your fucking quarterback, because they had Cam fucking Newton when Cam Newton was Cam fucking Newton.
You know what? It is fair. They did build an entire offense around Cam Newton, who was a very atypical quarterback. So it kind of worked. It worked out pretty well.
He was a little more thunder to Lamar's lightning, but I see that there. Also, Greg, where were you last night?
I was bowling.
Why didn't you invite me?
Because you're in Nashville.
Who were you bowling with?
It's something that Benny and Smalls asked me to do.
They asked you to do it. What do you mean by that?
Benny and Smalls
they just invited you bowling?
On one of the earlier episodes of The Vault, I don't know if you saw this, but Smalls gifted Benny a Pete Weber inspired Storm bowling shirt.
Yeah.
So as an ode to the great Pete Weber, they wanted to do a Vault episode of bowling. So they asked me if I wanted to. I don't know. I just got the text one day and I was asked if I wanted to go bowling. I said sure. So I ended up bowling. Did you guys invite
anyone else?
It was me, both of them, Dre, Denny, and Abby.
You guys didn't invite Ping?
I was not in charge of inviting people. I know. I feel bad.
Alex?
You didn't invite Ping.
I didn't. Hey, blame Smalls. That was on him.
Ping's in the chat says, what the fuck? No, Smalls said you're a dog in the lane. Ping says he's hurt. I'm interested. Smalls versus Ping might be the fight of the century. All right. What else do we got here?
Okay. You want to talk about another quarterback?
Yeah, let's keep it in the quarterback.
Well,
there, so.
before we circle back real quick, I just want to bring this up too, that this is something else that I don't think we even thought of or even has been referenced. What are the odds that these teams are just lying?
I think it was a misreport. I think that the reason they all said they're not more interested in Lamar after finding out about the news is because you can't be more interested than interested, Greg.
Fascinating.
Weird to not run it by the CEO. That's what I was thinking, Sid. Weird to not get invited.
Yeah.
I apologize.
You should.
Yeah.
I didn't have a say in who. I didn't have a say. I apologize.
Who told Dre?
I'm guessing Smalls or Benny.
He's just there. He was just there.
He was just at the bowling alley bar. Oh, good, Dre, you made it.
Oh, what's up, guys? He has the glove and the 3-ball bag that's on wheels.
Hey, don't you joke about that. That's something I used to do in college.
He said, "Who told Benny?" Smalls, you guys are answering today.
Bullying people out of bowling alleys and Slippery Rock.
No, that was Big Dave.
We need Vote to confirm or deny this.
No, that was Big Dave. I was the sidekick.
Greg made a kid eat his own poop once. Let's move along to this other quarterback.
You were literally Steve Buscemi and fucking Big Lebowski. All right.
I was trying to figure out, who was in the movie Kingpin with Woody Harrelson and Bill Murray? Did Bill Murray's character have a sidekick? I'm trying to remember.
No, he was the sidekick. That's who you were.
Wow. I love Bill Murray, so I'll gladly be compared to Bill Murray any day.
Okay.
Derek Carr is a New Orleans Saint.
Not surprised in any way, shape, or form. I feel like this is the place he was meant to go. I do want to say, though, he was not in high demand.
Interesting.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, he only visited the Saints, the Panthers, and the Jets. He met
the Panthers at the Combine, too. So it's like, hey, 31-year-old quarterback, do you want to come watch all these teenagers in underwear run and talk to us?
Yeah, I think my favorite news from the whole Derek Carr saga, if you want to go out, was I think the Jets made that comment about how if you come here and win a Super Bowl, you could be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
No, a first ballot.
First ballot.
In which case, I started a really, really fun argument in my Dynasty group chat because I said, well, technically anybody can be a first ballot Hall of Fame.
True.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong. No, Derek Carr to the Saints, I like a lot. I think their defense is good. They got to move some pieces for structure. I think Slant Boy's gone. Michael Thomas, I'm completely out on him. I think he's a bum. Chris Olave is great. Kamara, we'll see what happens with his issues. But this, as I said, for the Panthers, is a division that is extremely winnable, especially you look at Kyle Trask in Tampa. You look at Matt Corral in Carolina. Gross. Yeah. And you look at
Desmond Ritter.
In Atlanta.
Ritter in Atlanta.
I genuinely wonder, too, if some of these teams for the Lamar stuff, I know we're off that, but I wonder if some of them are like, no, we want to tank for Caleb Williams. We're cool with tanking.
Yeah. Or, I mean, I would also imagine too, either Atlanta or Carolina are probably taking quarterbacks in this class, or at least have their eyes set on a quarterback in this class. Like one of them probably wants Will Levis. One of them is probably maybe thinking about trading up for Stroud or Young based on how the board falls.
Do you want to play that game now, Greg? Will Levis or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson still.
But this is when you get in the territory of but he's younger and he doesn't have the wear and tear.
The clock resets.
He's got the cannon of an arm that he likes to show off.
The howitzer.
Howitzer.
Carr to the Saints. I think the interesting thing for me will be will anybody give a shit at the end of next year? Will they do anything? Carr was terrible last year in Oakland. I think we all enjoy Derek Carr. I think we all think Derek Carr's a good quarterback. We fought tooth and nail against NBA Rigged about him. Great deep ball quarterback. I think he'll unload his deep ball onto Chris Olave's forehead. I just don't. It's not a move that makes. It's not like. So here's my comparison to it. When Russell Wilson went to the Broncos, I said that's a Super Bowl roster. Terrible team.
Yeah.
Disgusting contract. Hindsight. This move right now is a move where I go, oh, okay, the Saints have a quarterback.
Yeah, this is not, I mean, like, is he an upgrade over Jameis and...
Watch your mouth.
I don't even know.
Fucking mouth.
Numbers-wise, he wasn't at all. If you look at the numbers between the two of them versus Carr last year, it's gross.
If you want to say he's an upgrade over Andy Dalton, sure. Red Rocket is pretty hard to not be an upgrade over.
Red Rifle.
Oh, Red Rifle. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, he's not fancy enough for a rocket.
Dog's penis is a good quarterback, man.
He ain't fancy enough for a rocket, no.
Remember, Jameis once threw 32 touchdowns in a season and 34 picks.
Yeah, I was going to say 30 for 30.
30.
If Jameis gets replaced by Andy Dalton and doesn't come back and get his job, which is what happened, dude, I'm just over Jameis. I kind of want to see Jameis go somewhere and just be a weird ball out scenario like Carolina.
You want him to have a Geno Smith resurgence?
Exactly
I love it.
Thinking.
Yeah,
exactly.
I would love that.
Yeah. You get it, Greg.
I would love it. No, I would love if Geno if he gets another Geno Smith run. That'd be amazing.
I would like Jameis to go back to the Bucks.
Oh, in the greatest return, like. You thought Aragon returning to fucking Gondor was something. You ain't seen shit yet, brother.
Well, here's the thing. He basically has the same team, essentially. He still has Mike Evans, still has Chris Godwin, still has Cameron Braid, I think.
David, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's losing Leonard Fournette. All they did
was make the line better.
Yeah, which if anything, that should help him. And also, if we're led to believe that his numbers when he was healthy for the Saints were something, because I don't think he was throwing as many picks as he was when he was in Tampa. There was that one game he had 3 picks.
I mean, that's impossible.
I know, but I'm saying, the team is clearly better. So that's not a bad take to put him back in Tampa Bay, actually. They have a Super Bowl caliber roster now to be able to work with based off of the talent around him.
Super Bowl?
I think their defense drastically underachieved last year, but they still got guys.
Super Bowl?
The Bucks?
Yeah, that's what Greg just said.
Well, they made it to playoffs with a losing record last year, so anything can happen once you make the playoffs, right, Greg?
Brackets are a thing, baby. Never know.
Yeah. All right, we're moving on.
Douche.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see what happens with them and Dennis Allen as their quarterback or their situation there. Plus, they don't have a good tight end because Adam Trout, man, sucks ass. So interesting.
Oh, have you hopped off the bandwagon on that one?
I've been off for 2 years now. What an asshole.
I was gonna say you were pushing really hard on Troutman when he was coming out.
Dude. So there's 2 things you need from a tight end coming out. Can they block, which means they're on the field a lot more, and can they catch? And those 2 things Adam Troutman did at Dayton. I get it, it's at Dayton. He was the best blocking tight end in the class. He had very surefire hands. That led me to love him. That guy sucks.
All right.
I mean, still work out. You never know.
No, it won't.
The NBA stretch run has just gotten super fucking interesting. It looks like Kevin Durant is done for the year and maybe the playoffs after slipping on the floor.
Wait, how are you done for the year and maybe the playoffs?
He's talking about the regular season as the year.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was like, that would be crazy. I'm with you now. I'm with you now.
He's done for the regular season and possibly at least the first round of the playoffs, if not more. Which the Suns were a good team before he got there, but maybe that creaks the door open a little bit in the West for even more chaos. Who do we think is a legit playoff team in the West right now?
Ooh, well, I mean, the West in general is a mess to begin with. I think the only team that you can have any confidence in right off the get-go is Denver. And that's just because...
How would you have confidence in them, Greg? They've been terrible in the playoffs. Every year they've been good.
I'm just basing it off of what I see right now. Like, I'm looking at...
No, you're fine. They just... I hate the Nuggets.
That's fair, because they've underachieved, but at least what I will say... compared to other years, they're relatively healthier than what they were the last couple of years. I mean, Jokic, is on pace for third MVP. They got, if Michael Porter stays healthy or if his back doesn't flare up like it does every single 2 weeks, that actually might help to some degree. But Jamal Murray's playing, which is something that wasn't the case like for a couple of years. So he's back healthy. So they're the only team that I have any remote type confidence on. I look at the rest. The Kings are the best story of the season so far.
They feel like a nice story.
They're a nice story, but once they get to the playoffs, it's a whole other animal. The Grizzlies are imploding before our eyes just from like
a 50-game ban.
I don't even know what the hell happened in this case. So that's that. The Suns are still the Suns, and Devin Booker is healthy and playing great right now. So even if KD's not there, I think they can be okay. To a degree.
Still haven't named the best team in the West.
The Mavs have no defense whatsoever. Like, which, by the way, Josh, highlight of my day is the conversation about, is Luka the best fat player of all time? Incredible.
Incredible. What's his nuts said that during one of the games.
Fran Fraschilla is what you said.
Like, I was just like minding my own business, eating lunch, and Fran Fraschilla's like, Luka's the best fat player ever, and I'm like.
Well, I mean, James Harden.
Fuck. James Harden, Charles Barkley. I mean, like, we could go on and on. Also, Luka's just not that fat. Like, I mean,
no, if he's fat, I'm fucked.
Yeah, right.
The Clippers look like
the Mavericks are going to walk into this as the most dangerous 8th seed we've seen in a long time. Because Kyrie and Luka are going to pick it up, and Luka's going to do Luka stuff, so I'm there for it. The team that you still have not named.
Well, I was still going through them before I get them. Go ahead.
Are you saving a team?
I was continuing on, but if you want to pick up the pace, I'm more than happy to have the conversation.
I just don't want to talk about the Clippers. The best team in the West is the Warriors.
Duh.
Yeah, that's fair. The Warriors are a sleeping giant who just don't know how to win on the road for some reason.
Doesn't matter.
That's the thing. All they need to do is make the playoffs. They're the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, they have some injuries right now, and I get that, but they're just the Warriors, man. Like, they're always going to be the favorite out of the West, regardless of where they're seated, as long as they make the playoffs, if Steph Curry is healthy.
The one thing I will say, and I guess I could probably also put this for the NHL as well.
Yeah.
Seeding does not matter.
No.
When it comes to like the NBA, I'll even put the NHL in that case too. It's
matter in the NFL.
First round gets a bye.
I mean, both one seeds made the Super Bowl this year, so I mean, I think there's some logic to it.
No, but normally that's not the case.
And the Steelers won one from the fucking 8 seed, so like
the first time ever that happened, though.
Yeah,
we're years of this, so that's saying something.
We're awesome.
Yes, we are.
Jerome Bettis forever. Yeah,
I will say, Pink says light the beam. I get the Kings, dude. They're fun. They're just not real.
No, because here's the thing.
I like Fox. I like Sabonis. They're just not real.
If they play the Lakers without LeBron in the first round, I don't see the Kings winning that. I don't. And I don't even like the Lakers that much.
Last night.
AD looked good. If he's healthy and they improve that bench, the Lakers should win that series. But if the way that I believe the standings are set right now, you would have a first round matchup of the Suns and the Warriors in the first round.
Yeah,
which would be a lot of fun.
4-5.
That would be a lot of fun. I want Mavs Suns though. I think that'd be an even more fun series. But that would be great for the storylines. Mm-hmm. But even that would be interesting. Of Warriors and Suns, you don't have KD, and the Warriors knock you out in the first round. Oh, that'd be awful for them.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean,
Go ahead.
it's gonna be the Warriors. That's all. I'm not even gonna keep harping on it. Keep going, Josh.
Are the Pelicans dead in the water with Zion being done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like BI. They're just a team though.
So does that crack a door with LeBron being out for the Lakers, Zion being done, the 11 seed Oklahoma Thunder creep maybe into a playoff
That'd be
spot?
amazing.
Yeah,
Shai's having an incredible year too.
It's 3 games behind the 5 seed.
Yeah.
So, but there's also one other team I'd be a little worried about, and that's the Trailblazers. If Dame continues to drop 70, who's in the same spot.
Right.
But I like the Thunder as a team better than the Trailblazers. I just like Dame better than anybody that's ever played for the Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm. Josh Giddey's also highly underappreciated too.
Do the Giddey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Let's
ahead.
Look at the West or the East. I mean,
Sure.
Yeah, that's all. I was just going to transition over. Greg, do you want to run through every team in the East and how you like them or not again? It was impressive.
Yeah, I think the top 3 is basically kind of set this case, but the Celtics are struggling right now to kind of. I think they had some 3 really tough games, 3 tough games, but I think they'll be fine in a couple weeks.
You know who I hate? The Sixers. So
I know you hate the Sixers. I think the Sixers have the most pressure on them of anyone in the playoffs.
I think they have no pressure because they're frauds and they lose every year.
Can I tell you though?
The pressure.
The other night when the Sixers and the Bucks slugged it out, it would be an electric 7-game series. As good as Brooklyn and Bucks were, like it would be that level of fucking good. I mean, it was literally like the Bucks dominated up till like the late third, all of the fourth quarter, and then James Harden was like, "I refuse to lose this fucking game," and then went off. And then you saw Giannis try to battle it back. I mean, it was just fucking star-studded, buckets at all ends. Joel Embiid dunking on Giannis, Giannis dunking on Joel Embiid. Like, I mean, it was fucking awesome to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Ping says something interesting where he says they just got to beat the Celtics, meaning the Sixers.
I don't think that's true.
Well, I mean, are we just going to sit here and act like you don't got to also beat the Bucks?
Right.
I mean, I get it, Ping. The Celtics are probably the best, I don't know, the better team. I don't want to disrespect.
If they're not hurt. If they're not hurt, they're the best team in the East by a mile. It's no doubt. They have 5 All-Stars as their starters, basically.
Yep.
But
beating the Celtics makes it even, Ping says.
I also saw something that the Celtics.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't want a title, then I guess, Ping, we can all be betas. What's up, Greg?
I think I saw something too that the Celtics haven't actually had their true starting 5 start a game.
Who is in that starting 5, Greg?
Off the top of my head, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum.
He was good.
Jaylen Brown.
Wait, what?
Jaylen Brown.
Where did he go to school?
Brown. Cal.
Was he good in college?
He was okay.
But he was like a high draft pick, right?
He was a high draft pick, yes.
Was he? Did people like the pick?
I would think some people like the pick.
Well, did you like the pick?
I thought it was a reach at the time.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. But you didn't like it though, right?
I didn't like it at first, no.
Yeah. Well, you didn't like it at second either.
I didn't. No, I did not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Keep going.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown, though, he's good though, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
The mask looks dope on him too, I'll say.
On who?
On Jaylen Brown.
Okay, I'm done.
I think the Celtics, even if they don't have Brown or Tatum play a game, I think they're okay still, because I think in terms of depth, they've done a very good job. I think the thing that's going to be interesting with them is Mazzulla being the coach might go a long way, because of the fact he's essentially a rookie leading a team that theoretically should win the East.
They would also have to play the Heat in the first round.
As it stands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I think
do it.
I think the whole aura of the Miami Heat and them, being well conditioned and them being tough to play, I'm starting to get I'm starting to fall on deaf ears with that.
Yeah, but
I think it's like a myth now. I'm sorry.
If they're missing two of the best players in the league for that series, like, you're gonna take Jimmy Butler in the Heat, no?
No, I don't think they're gonna miss both of them. I think it's like if one misses, the other one will be fine. I know, like I always kind of that run that they had in the bubble where like
crazy. They never lived back up to that height.
They'll never like Jimmy Butler like dragged that team kicking and screaming into 6 games against the Lakers. Then he has been able to match it. Like credit to him. Like he's a great player, but fuck, I cannot for the life of me figure out how is it the Miami Heat have not been able to like try to get back to that level yet. I cannot figure it out for me. They have the talent, they have the coaching, they have all that. It's just I'm over it. But what I will say, a couple other teams, real quick. Shout out to Brooklyn. Mikal Bridges has been balling. He's been balling really ever since. Yeah. So like it's amazing what happens when you actually have a team that is willing to play together and do something. So shout out to Brooklyn. I don't know if they'll win a playoff series, but at least they'll win a game. So
they'd have to play the Sixers in the first round.
They'll win one game. Maybe 2. They might get lucky, I'd say.
That'd be the first time Ben Simmons is on the court for the Sixers, and the Sixers won the game. NBA Rig says, Durant is out 2 weeks at least. Do you guys think the Suns can win a playoff series if he doesn't play?
Yes, but past that is hard to say.
Yeah, variables who they play. No, because they didn't have any All-Stars this year, as Devin Booker played.
Oh, well, right now they got to play the Warriors, so I take that back.
Yeah, if it was right now, not even close. No. Okay.
NBA Rigged, over the commercial break, when we come back, do you think the Hawks are a threat to bracket bust the East? Just a question. Think about it during the break. We'll come back and answer it after that. Cool? We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Josh. I like pizza. Do you like pizza?
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie.
We've let it coagulate. Show Greg. King of coagulation there.
Coagulation is key.
Ooh. Homemade Greek ranch.
Do you like watching people eat pizza? Help me, because I'm on the quest to find the best pizza in Pittsburgh.
Hand-forged pizza. Bit Vici. That's amore.
Make sure you're sending in your recommendations for the best pizza in Pittsburgh, because I'm going to go, I'm going to try it, I'm going to hold it to my standards.
It's the aftertaste is the barf. It's where the barf comes in.
Oh, yeah. I agree. It's Bob Pizza.
Can your favorite pizza place pass the test? Find out.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Vault, the weekly show from Thoughts from the Bench that takes a look back at some of the best and worst sports jerseys of all time.
So, I looked up what a Canuck was. Ben, you're gonna shit yourself. What a fucking silly country.
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
No. You sound like the John Candy in a fucking snapshot.
That's Uncle Buck.
I have an irrational fear of alligators and crocodiles. I hate them.
What? Of like, okay, this school who looks like they're in High School Musical just came and balled out. So yeah, they're not drinking Gatorade or water on the sidelines. They just got bottles of Barbicide and they're just fucking tanking them down, dude. Like that guy who's nodding his head. Okay, where's the keg at? You know, like that type of guy.
Yeah.
Like
he's a glue guy. He's a glue guy.
Okay, he's a glue guy.
I want to show off the human goose that is Mike Glennon.
Oh my god, he is a goose.
They're like mom jeans with the elastic on top. Like, I don't...
I'm okay. He's a man of the people. He's in with the students at games and sporting events. He's posing with the frat boys. He's getting pumped up Literally
Dude,
and
no.
metaphorically speaking, for every event, he is Dartman.
What?
That was really funny.
Football's the mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell.
JJ Watt,
the
bring it
Golgi
on over,
apparatus.
pal. Bring it on over. Golgi apparatus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum. I'm just naming off science shit now.
And the question we left you with at the break was whether or not the Hawks are bracket busters in the East. Thoughts and feelings? Other than that, me using bracket busters with the NBA is weird.
There's a tie-in, so we'll give you that.
They will not be.
Okay.
Especially based on the
That's
fact
wrong,
that especially based on the fact that they'd be playing the Bucks probably. There's nobody in that front court that can hang with Giannis. None whatsoever. Trey and Dejounte Murray would have to have just an unbelievable scorched earth performance in that series to even come close. Trae Young would have to play like he's in Madison Square Garden every single night if he was going to win that series. And I don't see that. I don't see that happening. Like,
not at all. They're a fun team when they're hot. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But
is Trae Young probably the
Top
most
25
disappointing
NBA player?
Well, I was gonna say, is he the most disappointing superstar this year?
it depends how you define superstar.
Like obviously, so Trae Young is probably he's a face in the NBA. You know, well known star. But in terms of a guy who is expected to be the leader of your team, and I think a lot of people probably thought as soon as they got Dejounte Murray, like the Hawks were going to take that next step, kind of like of essence of like how the Cavs have like taken that next step with Donovan Mitchell and like so forth and stuff. But like Trae Young, it just hasn't done that. The Hawks are kind of like, they're almost like this middling pack team that has just these parts of talent that can't seem to be put together properly. And not to mention Trae Young's had 2 coaches fired now.
Yeah.
So like there's got to be like something to this that we're missing with
4
Trae Young.
names I'm thinking of, Greg. And it depends if you consider LaMelo Ball a face. LaMelo Ball, fraudulent superstar. Zion Williamson, fraudulent superstar, in my opinion. Damian Lillard, fraudulent superstar this year. And then the last one, Ja Morant. Ja Morant has been the single most disappointing NBA superstar this entire season, and it's not necessarily just because of his play. It's because he's being fucking Ja Morant, but he has not lived up to who Ja was last year in terms of on and off the court.
If I'm basing it off of just play, though,
Ja Morant. Dame, then. I get it. I get it. Those guys to me carry more of an actual I'm going to win a title swagger than Trae. Trae Young doesn't feel like a guy you win a title because of. He feels like a guy that, hey, we brought in this other guy who's really good and Trae hit all those threes, so we won. So maybe not because of, you know what I mean? But
but here's the thing too. Like Trae also is like, Trae's a guy that after that New York run, we kind of saw as like, oh my God, this guy has like
we saw what he
turned
could
the
be.
corner. We saw this guy can be like the leader of the team. We thought, oh my God, the Hawks weren't crazy to trade Luka for him and stuff like that. So like that's the part where I'm going with. It's like he hasn't hit that next gear yet that I feel like too many people probably thought or expected him to make. And I wonder if it's because that we are just now maybe starting to come to the realization that Trae cannot be a guy that leads you to a championship. He needs another piece.
What do you see, Josh, since you asked the question?
Yeah, you know I mean, the Hawks are fun, right? And I think that's exactly what you're saying. When they're good, they're fun. And I think, I said to NBA Rigged in the chat that like I have PTSD from 2021 when he scored 40 in the first game. So
does everyone in New York.
Yeah. I think that the Hawks could be a great what if. You know what I mean? If they do not build more, but I think they are, or at least they're trying to. They're just not doing it as splashy maybe as some other teams are. They're trying to do it through the draft. So I think that's the difference. Is like the Hawks are fun. And that's where like I want them to be good. I want the Hawks to be like this stud team, but maybe they are in that same category as Greg was putting the Heat in, where it was like, yeah, they're fine. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna blow the doors off anybody or anything like that.
There's through the history of time in the NBA, there have been teams that are real and teams that are fun but not real.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that divide is such a thin
Utah
line.
Jazz through the 90s, right? They were fun.
Yeah, the Pacers when LeBron was in Miami, like
right.
They were always
Hawks
like, oh,
when he was in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm closer to that than anything. Nate McMillan, how do you guys see him as a coach? Do you think he should get a head coaching job? Is he good, average, assistant coach? Only need a long break. NBA rig coming in with the questions.
That is beyond my pay grade.
Fair.
I think he did a great job initially with the Hawks to at least kind of settle the Lloyd Pierce situation. Although I don't think Lloyd Pierce was necessarily a bad coach. I just think he wasn't the right fit. That's all. But I think with Nate McMillan though, and the NBA is also kind of guilty of this, like the same thing that I have an issue with the NHL is the whole retread hire type thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like that's something that drives me nuts. And that's kind of like the same thing in the NBA. It seems like the same guys always get the same coaches. So I'm always more in favor of giving kind of newer people new opportunities and maybe new stuff coming from it. But I think there's something to be said though for a guy that's been around for a long time. And I think he has some respect. I just think Nick McMillan probably started to wear thin on a younger Hawks team that maybe needed a different voice in the room. And I like Quinn Snyder. Like, don't get me. I thought Quinn Snyder was not the problem in Utah at all. I think it was more so just the fact that Utah had a decent team, but had the buzzsaw that was like the Warriors and all these other teams up in front of him.
Yeah, sometimes coach. I mean, Mark. Who was it? Mark Jackson. He built the Warriors, but Steve Kerr coached them.
Yeah,
that's where I get with these coaches in the NBA. Like somebody could be really good at building the team and then not coach that team correctly, and then you bring in the guy that can coach the team. And look at the Celtics with Brad Stevens, and so
that's the best example. Brad Stevens coached them for so long, and Ime Udoka is the one that got them to the finals. So there's something to be said for that. Absolutely. I don't want to necessarily say Nate McMillan doesn't deserve a job, but I would think that based on the history and based on the trajectory and stuff, I think you know what you're getting.
Yep.
You need to if you like what you're getting, fine, do it. But if you'd rather maybe try to take a chance or maybe try to come up with new ideas to get your team over the top, fine. Nate McMillan actually would be. I had a thought of where he might be good at, but then I kind of circled back on that because that's probably the same situation as the Hawks. So never mind. Actually, I was going to say the Hornets, but bad idea.
Derek, why do you think Dame is disappointing this year?
Because it's disappointing on two fronts. One, it's disappointing because despite how good he's doing, their team does not do well.
Okay.
And two, it's disappointing because he wants to stay there and I want him to go somewhere else because the Portland Trailblazers are a dumpster fire of patheticness. Dame is great, but what the fuck are we doing here? We're watching a top 75. Like, Josh, he got picked to be a top 75 player over some notable guards.
Right.
Like, over some notable guards in the history of basketball. And it just feels like stat padding at this point. And I'm not being a dick. Like, I love Dame. I think Dame is one of the realest NBA All-Stars we've ever had. I think Dame has always been an underdog.
Right.
I think he should. I mean, his numbers are great always, but in terms of actual making those into success, I just don't see it. It reminds me of Russ when Russ is going for the triple doubles and the team's the 11th seed. It's like,
sure.
Yeah, it's fun, man, but what the fuck are we doing?
It's crazy because in his 10th year, this is 10th year in the NBA, he's actually having a career year. He's scoring more points per game. His three percentage is insane. Oh, yeah. 100%. It's just crazy. I mean, he is having literally the best statistical year of his career.
I don't know
I think I said that on NBA trade deadline.
Yeah.
I was like, Did Portland just fucking give up?
Yes.
And they
always
did. They gave up. Sad.
It's that, we talked about with the NFL teams, Josh. It's the shout out Weber State, NBA. It's the, the conversation about really genuinely what are these teams going to like. It's a small market team for them. They're not going to pay over the luxury tax.
Right.
They're not going to go into the cap conversation we had earlier. And so, but they don't want to lose Dame. And so for Dame, the question then comes down to like, what is he trying to win there? Does he not care about winning a title, which is fine. Don't get me wrong. Like he's doing better than I am. So I can't really talk shit on the guy. Oh boy. Greg did the clicking thing. He's got
he adjusted his chair.
Yeah, when Greg does that, it's pretty bad.
I'm struggling so much on this with Dame because here's the thing. I love the fact that Dame doesn't want to like jump ship and go to greener pastures to try to win a ring, especially in a league that is so player driven. It's kind of nice that a guy wants to stay loyal to one team. I don't know. It's something that I feel like is kind of lost in that degree, but also I feel like this is now turning into one of those random and weird situations where like the player and the team, this strikes me as like you're in a relationship that both of you know it's not working out, but it's so convenient and you've been in it for so long that you just don't want to give up on it because you don't want to necessarily see what life is like without the other.
Same thing the Packers are going through.
Yeah, but the Packers cheated and got a first round beautiful stud.
That's just the Packers.
You're calling him a beautiful stud.
Well, here's the thing though. The Packers essentially have like someone waiting in the wings. Like they don't know what's going to happen, but at least they know something is there for them.
Greg.
This is the different scenario though. It's like I'm struggling with this because on the one hand, I want Dame to stay in Portland forever, but on the other hand, it's like it's clearly not working for the franchise.
Greg, my personal love life is not your sports analogies. I just want to throw that out there before we transition.
I didn't mean to make it sound that way. My apologies.
Also, sit in the comments. An awfully personal take.
Life experiences, I guess. I don't know.
Can I just run through a couple of things real quick?
Run through a brick wall, brother.
Thank you. Okay, Dame or Trae Young?
Dame.
Dame or Jason Tatum?
Dame.
Greg?
Dame.
No,
Dame or KD?
Is this the face of my franchise or one-on-ones?
Yep.
Okay. Dame.
Dame over KD?
Dame, yeah.
Okay.
I think KD's a fucking rat.
Hang on. Okay, Dame over Donovan Mitchell, yes or no?
Dame.
I love Donovan Mitchell, but I would still go Dame.
Dame over Luka?
Luka.
Okay.
That one's the first one that I go, yeah, age, recency bias. The team's willing to get other players to help.
Yeah. Plus, he's really good and he's fat, so you got to have something to go with that, obviously.
What about Dame or Kawhi?
Dame.
I hate Kawhi Leonard.
Dame or Ja?
Wow. If you would have asked me this like months ago, I'd say Ja, but damn, not anymore.
Yeah, it's weird in that conversation that Dame's considered the shooter, but I'll go Dame.
Oh my God.
You did make Greg laugh. You made Greg laugh right now.
I'm broken.
Love you, Greg.
I'm proud of you for that
I'm
one.
just scrolling here. I think that's probably about it, right? As far as like, Dame or Joel?
Dame. I hate Joel Embiid.
I'll go Dame. I think
Joel's probably the correct answer if Greg wants to say that. I'm okay with that, but
my only stigma is that like I think if this was a decade ago, getting a guy who's an elite center would have been looked at as like a guaranteed spot for rings forever. But we're in the game now where it's all about shooting.
Who's the last good center to win an NBA title?
Giannis.
Duncan?
Giannis is not a center.
He plays center.
Duncan's not a center. Yeah, so did Magic Johnson. He's not a center though.
Okay, so what do you? So Shaq.
It's their
is that
true
what we're going
position. No. Joel Embiid would be an answer if his dumbass ever won a ring.
Right.
You got the Warriors, the Bucks, the Lakers. AD played power there, really. My point being that a big center, I mean, Joker's out there with his tubby ass winning back-to-back MVPs. They're not going to do shit.
Right. Yeah, I guess the last great center to win consistently championships was probably Shaq. Or, well, what?
I was going to say.
So Shaq's last title was 06. Since then, Spurs. Timmy D was power forward. They had the splitter. Mm-hmm. Boston Celtics, Paul Pierce, Garnett. I think Kent was Big Perk.
Perk was on that team, yeah. Kevin Garnett was the power forward. So
Lakers get 2.
What about Dirk?
The power that's behind him. Dirk's a tough one because they technically had, was it Tyson Chandler as the center?
Yeah,
so Dirk was the 4.
Dirk in terms of length and size, sure, but he does not play like a center.
The Heat, Chris Bosh was the power forward. They had Udonis Haslem then too?
Yeah. They've had Udonis Haslem since 1991. Come on, man.
Then you get to the Spurs, back to splitter. You get to the Warriors, the 15 team. Was that Zaza Pachulia?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. 16, the Cavs. That was LeBron, Kyrie, J.R. Smith. Tristan Thompson played the
Kevin Love.
Oh, so Tristan was the center there, so not elite. The larger conversation for me, though, is like this conversation right now feels very much like when we say in the NFL, who's the last big running back to win a Super Bowl?
Right.
It's a position that the stellar guys are stellar. They don't matter when it comes to actually winning.
Yeah, because it's like it was the whole argument with the Greg Oden and Kevin Durant draft was like, if you draft Greg Oden, then you're going to win multiple rings and stuff like that. Well, not the case. And obviously Greg Oden fell apart and stuff. But the whole logic was literally like centers are the guys that win you championships. And that's just not the case anymore. It's all shooting, and it's so athletic now, and it's almost so positionless nowadays in basketball that it's just that logic it doesn't make sense anymore. Yeah,
and and that's even down to the NCAA level. Like having an elite center doesn't buy you shit. Michigan just got bounced.
Yep.
In fairness, Josh, yes, that's true. But I would also say that
Steven Adams went to Pitt, Josh. So
you also have to.
Here comes Greg.
Teams can game plan around a center. Like if a center's elite, don't get me wrong, but like if you have a very good center in college basketball that dominates the game, like Anthony Davis played center on that Kentucky team and dominated.
Yeah, but think about
with an entire roster of fucking 5-star and NBA players. Like fucking next.
Yeah, one of the families pooped out twins and they were both good. I hear the centers of recent memory, though.
Was that Wiseman. The Lopez brothers? Is that what you
No.
It was the Morris brothers.
Oh, okay.
So, Greg, James Wiseman, what happened in Memphis? Taco Fall, what happened at UCF?
Well, first off, what happened at Memphis was some very, very shady stuff that Penny Hardaway should not have been doing. First off, let's be clear about that.
I think he should have. Oh, so it's bad to buy a mom of a good basketball player a house, Greg?
I'm not gonna.
No, I just don't think centers matter. I'm just being.
NIL wasn't a thing.
And
so yeah,
the reason they don't matter is because you got freaks of nature like Giannis playing center. To Josh's point, he isn't. He's a forward, but because he can play center, that dude can play 1 through 5. LeBron. He's played center. He shouldn't, but he's played center.
He's also played the point.
Yeah, Draymond Green played center, played the point. Yeah. So it's interesting.
You know what's terrifying too? Victor Wembanyama might be the guy that changes that whole logic right there.
Did you see him get bodied though?
No.
There was a dunk on him. He got bodied.
I don't even think he's a pro player.
No, he's a first overall.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's a rough take.
Josh, he's a 7'4" guy that plays the point.
Just because he gets taken first overall does not mean that he is a pro player.
If you're in the league,
bro, I'm sorry.
I've only seen one person in a league that wasn't a pro player, and that's Ben Simmons. Everyone else,
I might throw Kwame Brown in that conversation.
Kwame Brown was more of a pro than Ben Simmons ever was.
That's terrifying to think about. But
I'm just saying, just wait. There's a chance he is a bust and does not pay.
Yeah, Greg, if he dies before the draft, he's a bust.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
That's what we're waiting for, Josh. That's what we're waiting for.
Just wait.
I will say, depending on where he goes, that'll be interesting to see.
I'll wait
That's
if you
fair.
stop telling me to care about Wyoming basketball players.
Never,
because they're not going to be pros either. Yeah.
Speaking of which, it's March fucking Madness, and my beloved Pokes are out. I just
Great transition.
Pump the fucking tires of Hunter Maldonado for 20 seconds. He ends his career with 2,000 points, 800 rebounds, and 600 assists. In his final game with the Pokes, he scored 36 points.
Is there a chance that the Pokes get into the CBI or any of the other tournaments that no one cares about?
They're playing with 7 fucking players. There's they need to be done. They need to be done. They need to go lick their wounds. They need to
be, but they aren't.
Thank the Hunters for everything that they've done, and then they need to take a long, hard look at how
the gatherers are just as important as the hunters in the foundation of human culture, Josh. So I don't know. I want to shout out to all the
check
gatherers.
your history, damn it! Come on,
you don't even
not
understand.
Cool.
What a beta move to just think on a couple days after International Women's Day too. We're just out here thanking hunters, Josh.
Literally the day after International Women's Day, the exact day.
Not that women got to be berry pickers. It's just saying that Josh believes that only hunters matter.
It's even better because my first literal fucking day shooting the basketball team, I was standing next to Hunter Thompson, and he goes, "Do you want to film my hunting show?" So I can't. It's so good. Anyway,
what's the album called from Jane's assistant in The Office, Josh?
Oh, just Hunter, isn't it? Something like that.
His name was Hunter. The album was called The Hunted.
Oh, that's right. And she was fucking him.
I was gonna say, was his show called Hunter the Hunter?
You took me by the head.
That one night.
You did everything alright.
She's like dancing.
I didn't know this was gonna be the third concert I had this week. Okay, this is cool.
Jim's hand, and she's like dancing with it.
Wait, Greg, you went to 2 concerts. Who'd you go with?
No, I have 2 concerts I'm going to. I didn't realize this was going to be the third one I'd see. So
Well, it sounds like this is the first
2.
one.
This sounds like the best one.
It is. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Is one of them a wedding?
No, thank God.
Okay, so
how far do you think you can throw a potato, Greg? Like a standard potato?
I don't know, honestly.
Not like a potato. You know what I mean?
Like a real baked potato size.
Yeah.
Like an Idaho potato.
Yeah, straight out the ground.
Idaho
no
potato
temperature
bowl.
Changed. Yeah. How far?
Like Josh Allen chucking an Idaho potato. How far you think you can get that bitch?
You're standing on the goal line.
Okay.
And you're facing the field, just so you don't get, I'm going to turn around and throw you the stands. No, you're facing the field. You got to keep it in bounds. What yard line are you hitting with this potato?
Maybe 25, 30, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Just the 30-yard line? That is so not far.
Can you throw a football 30 yards? I'm not being
probably
a jerk.
probably with like a spiral, but obviously I don't know off the top of my head how far I could throw it, honestly.
Wait, just you think you can throw it farther?
Oh, absolutely. A potato?
I don't think either of you could throw a baseball that far, let alone a potato, let alone a football.
No, I can throw a baseball. I can throw a baseball that far.
I could throw a football or a potato or a baseball at least 45 yards.
That is the most bullshit statement you've ever said.
What are you talking about? We're not talking about like in game trying to hit a receiver. We're talking about just throwing something.
You cannot throw a football 45 yards.
I'm going to record it and fucking send it to you.
Please do.
This is something I would have to see too.
You could not throw a football 45 yards.
Okay,
Greg, back me up here.
I've never seen Josh throw anything, so I don't have any like grand like idea to even like make it up in this case of what it could be. I'm sorry.
The farthest pass ever thrown was 69 yards by Josh Allen.
Wait.
Oh, that's right. It was.
69 yards is the farthest thrown football ever.
69 yards.
Like,
is
Josh,
the farthest
45
thrown
yards,
football ever.
you're throwing it to the halfway line, almost. You're
Didn't
5 yards
Jamarcus-
shy of the halfway line.
I thought Jamarcus Russell threw a football like 70 yards or something.
Well,
from
yeah,
his
Josh
knees.
Allen says he can throw at 80, no problem.
So this is next-gen stats. The NFL microchip in the football.
That's
Josh
in a
Allen threw
game.
to Davis, traveled 69.3 yards. Yes.
Okay,
Which
in
is
a
fine.
game.
Regardless, you think you could throw a football 5 yards shy of the halfway line.
So
I can't just let that sit. I'm sorry for
I don't
throwing.
know.
Like,
I think
Sid said he could throw a baseball length of the field. Shut
I
the
know, I
fuck
saw
up.
that.
Sid.
No, that's
you
bullshit.
throw football over
That's
that
some
mountain.
bullshit.
I'll tell you what.
Here's what I would say.
bullshit.
I feel confident saying a potato. A potato 20 to 25. I'm comfortable there, Greg. I will agree with you that around there. Josh saying a
wonky,
football,
too, like
potato,
trying to throw
a
it.
baseball.
Do you think I feel like you could throw a baseball farther because it's smaller?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. That's why I was confident I could throw a baseball that far, because I'm like I'm used to throwing that. and
I don't
stuff,
think you
but,
can
like,
throw a baseball 45 yards without bounce. Like, it has to land on
Without
the
a
45 yard
bounce.
line.
I don't know. Now I'm like I'm gonna just show up at
I
my former fucking employer and just stand on the goal line and throw shit.
Yeah.
Just be like, dude, you don't work here anymore. Please leave.
No, I'm about to do that this weekend. Like,
Yeah,
I have nothing going
I
on
don't know.
Sunday. I'm about to go find a field and see. I could probably throw a ball 35 yards on a very hard try.
A football or a
football,
baseball?
A football.
Okay.
And that's like where I don't know, like Josh Allen apparently has thrown a ball 80 yards in practice. Like that's like the room.
And he is, and we can all agree on this currently right now, one of two humans who probably throw it the farthest in the history of that. And you're confident you can get above half.
I guess that's exactly when you phrase it that way, it makes I agree with you. But like
when
in
I
my
push
brain,
back with evidence.
In my brain, I was like, I could throw it half as far as Josh Allen. Like that's how I processed it. Not like you think you can throw it at half as far as Josh Allen. I was like, okay, Josh Allen could throw it 80 yards. Like I could probably throw like half of that. That's where my brain came in.
I'll give you 3 tries. Like you get a warm up or what you can do, whatever. 3 official tries to throw a football without bounce 45 yards.
Okay. All right.
And every yard you miss off those 3, so it's 45, 45, 45. The combined yards off that, you have to finish those beers across 4 shows in a month.
Okay.
Wow.
So okay, hang
this
on.
Is fun.
I gotta write it down.
I love this.
Okay. So the bet.
Because Greg, I'm thinking if he lands a 35, that's 10.
Yes.
That's 30 beers which is like not an abnormal amount. I'm not going to make him do it one show, but in a calendar month, he has to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Josh throws 45 yards with no bounce. And what do I get?
If you do it?
Yeah.
That's a good question, actually.
I will.
Will you buy my beer for the month?
No, one is money versus doing. You're not giving me money.
That's true. Okay.
You are so unemployed it hurts, John.
I mean, if you look at him, he does look unemployed.
I'll drink 2 beers for every yard over. So if you throw,
Let's go, Chad. Oh shit! I just ripped my
going up to Cleveland with a tailwind blowing 120 mile per hour, he can make that. So yeah, if you're in the middle of a tornado, like if you're in a literal tornado,
he can't do it in Wyoming. Then literally the wind is going to guide the throw.
The wind only hurts throws, Greg. I've watched one too many Cowboys football games. It does not help.
That's why they're such a run-heavy team.
45 or 40, whatever you put it at. Every yard you throw over, that's 2 beers that I have to do.
Well, I said I think I could hit 40. Okay, all right. And
then every yard over 40.
For every yard under 45, I have to drink
that exact number of beers in a calendar month. And just on air. Yep. I think he's going to throw a 27-yarder, Greg. Just full transparency. Full transparency. I think he's going to throw a 27-yarder.
Josh, when was the last? Josh, do you remember the last time you threw a football?
Yeah.
Probably this past year.
I was going to say, regularly. What do you think you do when you're waiting for the game to start?
You do not throw 45 yards. I'll tell you that much.
No. All right.
If that's the case, yeah,
read it. Can you read it back just to make sure we're on the same page, Josh?
Yes. Josh, if Josh throws it 45 yards or farther without a bounce, Derek has to drink that many beers on air.
Yes.
For every yard under 45, I have to drink the exact number of beers on air over a month. Got it?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think. Well, here, honestly, I'm damn near close to saying if you hit it once, I'll just have to drink 45 beers in 4 episodes. I'm that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
My
Josh
God.
throws it 45 yards. Derek has to drink
45 beers over a month.
Over a month.
That'd be incorrect.
Okay, so when I'm filming this, I'm gonna put Anastasia on the 45. Right.
It's rude of you to make your wife have to move 10 yards closer to catch the ball.
I mean, I could get 3 balls, right? I mean, that's not. You gave me 3 shots at it, right?
You get 3 shots, and
okay.
All 3 of those, it's 45, 45, 45. So if you get 37, 38, 20 or something, you're looking at 31 beers or whatever.
Right. Okay.
You hit 45 yards.
Yeah. If you have to drink 45.
If you hit it, I have to drink 45 beers. Yeah. Which means basically 11 beers a show.
This is the best fucking bet we've ever had.
We're gonna have to do a 4-hour stream on the last Thursday.
Oh my God.
Beers. Yeah.
Can we have that be the thing during the draft stream or something? Whoever has to do it is the one. It's just playing out while we're watching the NFL draft as well, because that's probably the best time to do it.
Actually, that is legit. Probably the best. Time
is it April?
Yeah. End of April, yeah.
I would say we you could film it in March and then we can use April as the month.
Okay. Yeah,
I like it.
I'm going for it.
Yeah,
we'll see what I can do. All right. Technically, we should switch to the game.
I would like to.
Okay,
I feel like I don't know. March Madness, Alabama's going to win it all.
Okay, great. So we're not going to do you don't want to do the predictions real quick?
Oh yeah, do predictions then game.
Okay, cool. All right. So I made everybody do a predictions. That these are 3 predictions for March Madness. Greg, you're up first.
All right. So mine are pretty easy, pretty casual ones, obviously. My first one, a team with an animal mascot will make it to the Final Four.
Pretty good.
Willing to harp on that one, obviously.
Shout out.
Second one, a double-digit seeded team will win 1 game. Half the field are double-digit seeds. Actually, more if you include the playing game. So,
half the field are not double-digit teams, are they?
Yeah, 16.
Close. Yeah, I guess they would be.
Yeah.
Close. Yeah.
Because I was thinking 1 through 9. Then okay.
That's close.
It's
close,
a good enough statement.
Yeah.
I don't know why that threw me for a loop.
And then the last one. A school will have enrollment numbers drastically increase because they play in the NCAA tournament.
I don't know how I'm going to fact check that, but I'm going to go for it.
I would like for you to call your school after the brackets are made just to see.
The biggest proof I have, Florida Gulf Coast, after they went on the Dunk City run,
yeah,
enrollment drastically went up, although part of it, I bet you, is probably based on the fact that their campus was literally on the beach in Fort Myers. So
I don't think so, because after Robert Morris made the tournament my freshman year, enrollment doubled that next year.
That sounds about right, actually.
It's pretty crazy.
I like it.
All right, Derek.
My first one is over 9.5 total player foul outs in the tournament.
Love that.
I felt like that was a fair line.
I really wish I could bet that.
Yeah. I had it at 11.
I feel like you could.
Because I wanted it 9.5 because that feels like there's always guys that foul out in the championship game, like 1 or 2. There's guys that foul out in the final, which is like 3 or 4 there, and then you're hitting. So I think 9.5 was a good one there. Also, Josh, you were doing wonderfully for the 2.5 mistakes today.
I'm doing great.
You're at 0 technically, and I haven't caught any.
I had a good one.
A team with blue in their jersey will win it all.
Which,
oh, that's a great one.
It is a good one because it's like it's not exactly half, but it's like definitely like 40 or 35%.
Yeah. Or red or black or even white would have been great options too.
White would have been fucking hilarious because everybody has white because of the numbers.
Exactly.
And then, Greg, you'll like this one. Over 12.5 total Coach K mentions for Duke's first game.
Ooh. Duke is probably going to be a 4 or 5 seed. So
Duke's in. Yeah.
No, yeah, they're in, but I'm just
their first game, they're going to talk about Coach K a lot. Whether they do well or whether they do bad, they are going to talk about Coach K a lot.
Yeah, I would actually off the top of my head would imagine too, because if it's a close game, I would bet you you would get Coach K references very constantly near the end about what Coach K would do in this instance and how he would dissect this game and all that.
That one I plan on metricing to see. I will watch that.
This one, I think 12.5 is either going to be right on or it's going to be 3, and they're going to try to not mention. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's either going to be oh, dude, it was 9 or something, or they're going to be they mentioned Coach K once because they want the team
especially if you have former players watching the game in the stands and stuff, they'll talk about him playing under Coach K and stuff like that.
They show tweets all the time. Oh, if LeBron, he says he would have gone to Duke for Coach K. Boom. Yep. So those are mine. Josh.
All right, so I have 4. Virginia may make waves or lose.
Trying to overachieve.
We were only told to give 3.
I know.
Yeah, he's trying to one up.
Listen, there's one at the end that we all can agree on and love. Okay, so Virginia may make waves or lose to a 13 seed.
It's okay, Greg. I found a spelling error. So.
Oh shit. Texas goes further than Kansas. The Mountain West will not win a tournament game.
I like Texas this year a lot.
That's a bold one on the last one, but I could still see someone winning it.
They've never won one.
Mountain West never won one game.
Tourney has a U in it, so there's one.
Even the shortened version?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then Oral Roberts wins their first game. They did not lose a conference game this year.
Attendance probably went up really high.
I would imagine, yeah.
Pumped about Oral Roberts. Okay.
It's a small school in Oklahoma, so yeah, why not?
Oh, Oklahoma, huh?
That's my buddy's Bob nickname in elementary school.
You ready to play a game?
Let's play a game.
All right. Let's see who wins the game. The current list
Pokemon was good.
Pokemon was out. So it's March Madness trivia. Guess that logo. Video games turned into TV shows. Non-craft beer drafts, periodic elements, and best arcade games. And 3, 2, 1, and they're off. Wow, TV video games is coming out flying here at the 50 already. Looks like best arcade games and Guess That Logo are going to try to overcome it. Oh, Guess That Logo. Run it up. March Madness trivia coming out here. Are we going to get a game? Are we going to get a game? Oh, no, wait. Oh, video games turned into TV comes in first.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so
it was tight near the end. Okay.
NBA, yes, we do have a bracket group to join. We will be posting about it on social, but Ping made that, so I will be sure to let you know where that link is, buddy.
Shout out to Ping for taking initiative on that, by the way.
Well, he had a lot of free time because no one invited him bowling.
Yep.
All right.
Greg's like, yep.
Okay, so this is based on The Last of Us becoming very popular. That's kind of going to be the game plan. Let's see who goes first. Second,
this is other video games to turn into TV shows.
Yes. All right. And they're off. Deke, you're killing it, man. You got both your running backs way out in front. Oh my God. Red, I guess Cardinals color Deke is just dominating the field.
Big day.
Now. He is killing it.
He's got red in his eyes, man.
Looks like Titans Josh is a close second right now. Oh, wait. Nope. Okay. Patriots Deke won somehow. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be
nothing sketchy about that. None whatsoever, huh?
Okay, it's going to be Deke and then Greg, then me in the draft. Okay.
If there were talks about it being a show or there were rumors of it starting or a start date, I would like us to check each other at that, because I'm sure there's one that I have that you guys would be like, oh no, they actually have it. Because like I've Googled this before and there aren't some of the big ones.
So we're taking Halo off the board, is what you're saying.
Yes, for me.
Well, it's already been made. Yeah.
It has been something.
And it sucked.
It was terrible.
It was
but
really
I think to me, it's like, yeah, I want to do that, but make it good. No, it's got to be yes.
Okay, cool. So, Deke, Greg, me. Derek.
And this time we are doing Serpentine?
Not Serpentine.
Okay,
That's correct.
Cool. All right. First one to me, I think is fairly easy. Give me live action Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's a great one.
Absolutely. 100%.
Just the fans of it are rabid. Everyone's at least played it enough to want to go see it, and the story's great.
Yep, that's got to be one of them. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. Greg.
So I have not been keeping up to date on like games that have been like either like hinted at being TV shows or whatnot. I don't know if there's stuff like in development or whatever. So
fine.
like
we can be looking on it. I just more meant it because of Halo. That was the one, Greg.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, so off the top of my head, the one that I think would be really cool because I'm a fan of Greek mythology, God of War.
Yeah, that's another one. I never got to play it because I'm an Xbox guy, but that's a big one.
Like I've seen the graphics on them, and I think the story is really freaking cool. Kratos in a live action version would be amazing, I think.
Yeah, Greg, and actually the first thing when you Google God of War TV show is the pressure's on for God of War TV show following The Last of Us.
Oh my God.
There you go, buddy.
Apparently someone did come up with it. Okay.
So are we saying live action or anything?
I believe we can have it be anything. Live action is the inspiration, but I think that there's some really good animated stuff that is fine.
That's what. Okay, so like Pokemon.
To me, there's already a TV show about Pokemon.
Okay, so okay. Cool.
Oh, you were saying you want a live action. Well, there's been a live action. There is a live action Pokemon movie.
There's a movie. Okay, so movies count too. So we're taking Mario out of the equation.
I guess there was a live action Mario.
There was a live action Mario and now an animated Mario.
Interesting.
Which, by the way, I have to say, I've seen more of the trailers. The more and more I think about it, the more I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm going to go see it. I'm very excited.
It looks good.
So if it's video games turned into TV shows, there's already a TV show about Pokemon, is how I view it.
Got it. Okay, cool. That's why I'm asking. I'm just trying to check my rules because obviously Pokemon would be my one.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, so keeping in your head, right? Like Squid Games, okay? I think you could do something cool with Tetris.
Oh, okay. There was another game that I thought you were going to go with that thing. I think that's a good call. I've
seen trailers for like a movie about how Tetris like became a thing.
Yeah, there's an Apple Plus movie coming out called Tetris, but it's not it's not the intent of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, it's about the backstory of how the game became popular.
Yeah, it looks sick, Josh. It's Taron Egerton. It's about him going over to Russia, meeting with the developer, almost getting captured by the KGB. Like, it looks cool. But I think for the game, that's an okay pick.
Okay, cool. All right. Derek, you're back up.
I'm gonna go. I wish they didn't make that really shitty Assassin's Creed movie.
I know.
Oh,
Yes, you're right.
TV show with Ezio.
But I feel like it's in bad taste to go that route. So I'm gonna go with a TV show for Spyro the Dragon.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I think that would be a lot of fun. Well liked.
And that totally, I'm not going to say it, but that totally feels like that takes exactly two other particulars off the board that are kind of like Spyro, but not Spyro. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing for me with Spyro is it had one of the best storylines of that era of games.
Sure.
Where it's like, oh, the big mean dragons are captured. Here's this little guy. He'll go ahead, little guy, but it was sick.
Right.
Josh, the movie Tron reminds me of Tetris. Style, colors, fashion, outfit. Agreed. Yeah.
Take. Oh, Tron for its time too. Like,
but imagine
I think it was late 80s that came out.
I guess that was Tron. Like they fucked up. They died in real life too. Like that's kind of what I was thinking. All right. Anyway, Greg, you're up.
I thought of this because it's a popular franchise, and I also think like this screams like HBO or late night type stuff. Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think that's one that I would watch.
Yeah.
That'd be like a perfect anthology, like crime based one too. You could have like different stories.
You could do what they did in the last one, which is 3 characters, 3 storylines, the episodes intertwine. You know what I mean? Like that could be really well done.
Where did you guys start playing Grand Theft Auto? Where did you join the franchise?
Never was allowed to own one, so I played GTA 3 and I just killed a bunch of people and my cousins.
Okay.
I've never owned a Grand Theft Auto because my parents believed in Jesus and stuff.
I don't recall if I ever owned one. I remember.
Just when did you play it? It doesn't have to be an owned. Yeah, just like when did you you were at a friend's house and you're like, do you want to see boobies and kill people? Like.
I picked up hookers and got blowjobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was GTA. I think it was GTA 3 because it was on the PS2 that I remember playing it. Yeah.
So mine was GTA 2, which is it's top down view.
Yeah.
And it's like it's wildly I don't know, it's like super fucking cool. It's hard to explain, but it's if you're into classic video games, go hunt down GTA 2. It's worth your time. It's more like a racing game than anything.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh,
when you said racing game, by the way, like I thought of one, but they also made a movie for it that kind of sucked.
Fast and the Furious, Need for Speed.
Yeah,
Need for Speed.
I don't know if this is in development yet. Gears of War.
It is, but I'll accept it as an answer.
Okay, thank you.
They started doing casting, I think.
Is Gears of War? I'm gonna.
Somebody got Night Train.
I'm like terrified to know how many games are actually in like development for TV or movies.
It's animated.
Which
is interesting. Then the next link is who could play Marcus Phoenix, and they have Batista. And I'm fucking in on that 100%.
Well, I was gonna say, Batista's actually in one of the Gears
I think he is Phoenix. Oh, you think he? Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know if he is in the game, but
I swear I remember seeing something about how he was like he actually like voiced and portrayed the character in the game.
On Netflix.com.
Yeah.
The Gears of War are grinding their way into Netflix. The hit video game will soon be a live-action movie and animated series. So it is a live-action movie and animated series. And none of this is take the pick away, Josh. Your pick is valid.
Okay.
I'm just saying that we're all correct in what we were. There is a live-action. There is an animated show. They're both coming.
Cool. I mean, that's going to be tight. Like, we're talking about why you want to pick the best stories, right? And we'd mentioned God of War and Assassin's Creed, like Gears of War, one of the greatest. It'll fall right in line with The Last of Us, but it'll be more war story versus hero story. It'll be sick. Derek, you're up.
Give me Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, that's what I was going to go next. Yeah. I was going to go there next. Damn.
Getting that in the third feels good.
Yeah. That's that's super tight. Greg?
I gotta think a little bit on this one.
Thank you, Rap.
Yeah, you know what? I might as well do it. Since D kind of came up with Spyro, this one I'm thinking about now. Give me Crash Bandicoot.
See, that was one of the ones I was like, you can't pick that now.
Why can't I?
Because it's like, it feels like derivative. You know what I mean?
Because it was the same style of game-esque.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You could pick it. Like, he's not saying you can't pick it, Greg. He's just saying it's, yes, derivative.
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Let me get my other one then. Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fine.
Duh.
That's fine.
They're all the same game essentially in weird ways, but like also all beloved in their own way.
We just created a universe, so there you go.
Actually, that would be tight.
There you go.
If Nintendo gave up Banjo and then Spyro and Crash are already both Sony, like that would be an incredible universe.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Derek.
Well, I'm going to cry because I just found out that technically there is a really shitty TV show for Left 4 Dead.
Oh, yeah, there is.
So that sucks because I have my list and everything. So because that sucks, give me Skyrim, the Oblivion series.
Okay, so I had Skyrim on my list as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think Oblivion is my favorite of them all, but Skyrim is the best of them all.
Skyrim, absolutely. Yep. Greg?
I think conceptually this for a TV show would work.
Ooh,
but I think it would be kind of fun. Give me Among Us.
Yes. That was the one when you, Josh, where you were talking about whatever you said before Tetris, where you were like, it'd be like a, it's like a tough one, but it would be cool. I think Among Us would be great because, it's just like murder mystery with Adam Sandler, but different.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Not Knives Out.
Not Clue.
Not Clue. No. Yeah. Okay. So I am going to revert to an internet game that's not necessarily like a PlayStation or an Xbox.
Okay.
Give me Freddy's Funhouse.
Five Nights at Freddy's, you mean?
Or is that what it's called?
So there's Five Nights at Freddy's, but Freddy's Funhouse is very weird. What is this? Freddy's Funhouse is the thing. Five Nights at Freddy is the bear.
That's what I'm talking about. Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Freddy's Funhouse is terrifying.
What is Freddy's Funhouse?
Digging into Robert Englund's unmade treatment for Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Freddy's Funhouse.
Oh.
That talks about like
Freddy.
And then there's something called Freddy's Funhouse. That's a Funko Funhouse TV show. I said fun so many times there.
That's a lot of fun.
Wow.
But Five Nights at Freddy's, I mean, it would be great to watch a like I'm imagining like over the series, like slowly the things are coming to life and weird things are happening to the security guard, and you know what I mean.
There's a random like B horror slasher movie that Nicolas Cage is in that's kind of based off of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, do I need to take it out?
No, you're good.
No. It was a movie that just, what was it called?
It was like a year or two ago, but like
Penn State beat Illinois. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, look at Nittany Lions making a run. But yeah, I can't remember what it was
Wonderland.
called. Yeah, Willy's Wonderland. They basically took the intellectual property of Five Nights at Freddy's and kind of tweaked it a little bit to make it its own movie.
But it is different.
But it is different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm up for my last one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No other video game has the ability to blow up a dragon with a pump. So give me Dig Dug.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't want to be the hard ass. Dig Dug does appear in Wreck-It Ralph.
That's a cameo. That's okay.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Gears of War has a fucking show coming out this year, Josh. Do we want to do
it? I'm skipping by here. This is not my strong suit.
That's okay.
No, I want Dig Dug. I want to dig into the earth, look for rocks, and then there's just dragons who can move through the soil, and it doesn't make sense, and you got to blow them up by going.
I haven't seen the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph yet, by the way. I feel like I need
Wreck-It
to.
Ralph.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Wreck-It Ralph
Great
1
movie.
is worth it, 100%.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Okay, my last pick is kind of a dumb pick, but I think it would just be really fun if someone tried to make this. Shaq Fu.
I don't even know what that is.
It is a series. It's a series.
Fighting? Yeah.
Shaquille O'Neal's karate fighting game.
This is such a great poll. Anything with Shaq in it, I'm in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is a game where Shaquille O'Neal essentially gets like not kidnapped, but he gets like transported to another realm almost. And in order for him to get back, he has to face these monsters one by one in order to eventually get back. And it's called Shaq Fu.
Yeah, Greg, I don't want to turn the tide here. They made a Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn for the Xbox One that I can buy for $13. I don't want to steal your thunder, but they made a sequel for $13 that I might buy. Slip into Dirty Barry mode and rack up a kill streak with your handy assault rifle and an abundant supply of grenades.
I do not remember that game having assault rifles and grenades. So
well, you sounds like you didn't slip into Dirty Barry then, my man.
I just remember the game for I think it was Dreamcast. It might have been on or something like that. Yeah. Like. Oh my God. That's so funny as hell. I can't believe there's a sequel. That's incredible.
Josh, close us out.
I feel like he's still puzzled by the Shaq Fu game.
He's mad he didn't know about it.
I'm wondering, okay. How do we feel about Tony Hawk Underground as a pick?
I mean,
it walks that line, right?
I think you could kind of turn it in, especially if you're
storyline, yeah.
Because the storyline is
Tony Hawk.
the storyline is awesome, where he's like this broke kid in New Jersey who kind of like climbs the ranks of skateboarding and like he's like avoiding like weird agents and fucking people trying to buy him out. Like, I mean, like
that'd be a sick show.
I think it would be a sick show. Tony Hawk.
What was the World
Tour? Was the second one?
Yeah, those were sick. Underground was great though. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So
Ryan said, "What if they made a show about the WWE 2K games? That'd be wild to see wrestling on TV."
Jesus Christ!
Not get crazy
count
there,
it.
Todd.
He says, "Count it."
Oh my God!
I love you, Ryan Thompson.
Sunny D's launching a vodka seltzer.
I saw that.
What?
I did not know how to react to it.
Like a kid that can legally drink alcohol.
Yeah.
That was a good draft. That was a fun one.
That was fun, yeah.
That has been on our list for a while. That and periodic tables.
Still a banger.
When periodic tables
exactly how that's gonna work out.
When periodic tables get pulled, it's all bets
What do you mean,
off.
Josh? It's so simple. We have to name elements, and whoever has the highest score at the end wins. But if you name an element and you don't get checked on it and you lied, you get like 50 points or some shit. But if you get checked on it, you lose all your points. It's that
absolutely.
simple. I'm going to take Hibaflubbin. It's a 63.
Oh, you've been doing research?
No, but that was a fake element, and I just got 50 points. Idiot.
Wait. Unbelievable.
Fuck.
I was gonna say you don't have to call out the actual like listing on the periodic table. You just have to like say, yeah, it's definitely an element.
No, like helium is something you would pick, but that's one or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, potassium and hope it's high or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's all the elements I know. So
Potassium is an element? I don't think so. I think it's just something that's in your food. Bananas. Save it.
Fucking with me?
If you challenge and you lose, you also lose 5 points.
I hope you challenge potassium when I take it.
All right.
Remember this for next time. Save potassium in your.
I will promise you right now, I'm not doing any research on that one. I will not look at a table. I think it's way more fun because otherwise you just look at the top ones. All right, Ryan, Sid, dear God, fuck you, Sid. Greg, love your storyline of Shaq Fu. Perhaps a couple episodes will be creating Shaq's full of sports bloopers. It's a video game. I'll text you, Sid. But, hey, great show once again, gentlemen. Way to show up and turn Zoom on, Greg.
Thank you. I try my best every day. You know?
Succeed.
I know. Thank you.
Josh, tell everybody where they can find By the Slice, since that is back up and running.
Yeah, By the Slice is on TFTV's Instagram and YouTube and Twitter.
That's from the penis.
So check that out. By the Slice is back. I will be trying all 4 pizza places in Miami.
Yeah. Well, Josh, why don't you just drive to Denver, like Greg said?
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hours, Greg. That's
makes sense.
But
it's like to Cleveland from here. Yeah.
He said just drive to other cities, Josh. What's the big deal?
Yeah. The closest city is 45 minutes away. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
All right.
It'd be like driving to Butler to get a fucking pizza.
Love Butler. Shout out Butler. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Say goodnight, dude.
Bye.
Yeah.
No.